Well, thanks for reading that letter, Joe. I agree with you, not only because I grew up in Europe, so I know what it's like there, but also because I'm an American. I've lived here for longer than I did in Europe, and I know Europe very well. And the letter writer is correct, unfortunately. And we are seen as either the laughing stock of the world or to be pitied, you know. It's a sad thing, but, my message is not necessarily to you. we're we're the already converted here, and when people laugh at us or say, well, impeachment should be off the table because it's not going to do any good, the guy only has 18 months left in office, that's neither here nor there, because even if impeachment is not successful in terms of the court levels and in terms of conviction, we need to show the world that collectively as American citizens that we are not agreeing with our government anymore. The approval rating for Congress is what, 25% now, 25%, and at its lowest levels. And Speaker Pelosi needs to get the message that we want her to put impeachment back on the table, because most of us want some sort of accountability in Washington, and we're not seeing that. And people are cynical. They're becoming more and more cynical, and the more cynical they become, the less voters you have, and the less people will vote in the next election, because they just basically feel, well, hey, doesn't who gives a shit if it doesn't make any difference anymore. So if you want to make a difference, Speaker Pelosi, then you need to put your political life at risk and basically put impeachment back on the table, regardless of whether it succeeds in terms of conviction or not in the full House and in the Senate. Most people in America want something to be done, and we are all so frustrated that nobody is speaking for us. And I'm not sure how this whole thing is going to turn out, but if nobody speaks out, it's probably not going to turn out well. And you will have movements springing up underground, whatever, It's not a good thing, and it's not conducive to democracy. And impeachment very definitely needs to be on the agenda, regardless of the 16 months left for this administration. What is going on here is completely beyond the pale. Completely beyond the pale. We have congressional hearings and subpoenas, and the White House is ignoring these subpoenas. And this is not right. Everybody knows that this is not right. And if you don't do something, if you don't speak out, and if you don't stand and behind us on this, then your party is just going to lose the next election, because people are just not simply going to vote. They're just going to say, well, screw it. They didn't stand up for us. Well, yeah, we voted them into office and whatever, but they're not doing anything, so screw it. So that's going to be the basic sentiment in this country. And I hope you listen to YouTube comments. Besides the highly rated stuff on the news and news stuff on YouTube. And I hope your advisors will listen to ordinary people like us, which weren't, for the most part, featured on the CNN debates because the questions were just too easy, too emotional, and for the most part, way too easy because they were reviewed by the candidates beforehand, and but the American people are not stupid. They can see through that. So I would just have to say to you, Speaker Pelosi, the Democrats are going to lose the next election unless the Democrats collectively stand up and be, for once, a little bit confrontational with what is going on at the White House. This simply cannot stand. It can't stand, and it will go down in history as a farce if this continues to stand. Okay. Thanks as usual.